For countless years, peaceful sleep felt like something that belonged to another lifetime. Every morning, I would open my eyes feeling even more drained than the night before, as if the hours I spent in bed had been filled with mental battles instead of rest. My body stayed tense. My thoughts raced endlessly. And when the sun rose, all I wanted was to close my eyes again and hide from the day. I tried everything: herbal teas, soothing music, deep breathing routines. I even relied on sleeping pills for a time. But they only left me groggy and heavy-headed the next morning. Nothing seemed to break the cycle. And perhaps the hardest part was the isolation, those endless nights spent staring at the ceiling while the rest of the world was peacefully asleep. Then, unexpectedly, something changed. I stumbled upon a small addition to my evenings. Not a pill, not some complicated technique, but a simple food, ordinary, familiar, and yet capable of shifting the way my nights unfolded. I began including it without expecting much, purely out of curiosity. And within just a few days, something remarkable happened. I drifted off faster. I woke less often. Most importantly, I greeted the morning with a feeling I hadn't known for years: genuine energy. Today, I want to share this with you: not only what the food is, but why it works, how to prepare it, the mistakes to avoid, and the simple habits you can pair it with to completely transform your nights. Because sleeping well should never be a rare luxury. It's a vital part of living with dignity, health, and joy. I invite you to stay with me until the end. Because sometimes the smallest change can give back far more than rest. It can give you back life itself. And while you're here, I'd love for you to be part of our community. Tap the like button if you've ever struggled with restless nights. Subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the simple, practical tips I share each week. And if you feel comfortable, tell me in the comments, how old are you? And where in the world are you watching from? Your story might be the encouragement someone else needs tonight. I can still recall exactly how it began. It didn't strike all at once, but slipped quietly into my life. At first, it was just taking longer to drift off at night. Then, without any clear reason, I'd wake in the middle of the night, sometimes at 2, sometimes at 4. I'd get up, use the bathroom, try to settle back into sleep. But my mind had already switched on, as though the morning had arrived. The real struggle wasn't only in those sleepless hours, it was how they followed me into the day. I moved slowly, quick to snap over the smallest things. Conversations became a challenge. My focus would wander. And sometimes I'd forget what I meant to say mid-sentence. My head ached, and there was a strange, heavy sadness, as if life itself weighed twice as much. On the outside, nothing seemed different. But inside, I felt myself fading. Many believe insomnia is simply the inability to sleep, but it's far more than that. It doesn't just rob your rest, it quietly drains the life from you. I tried to fix it on my own, starting with all the typical remedies: valerian tea, chamomile tea, calming music. I forced myself to put away my phone an hour before bed. Just like the articles advised, I bought a new pillow, changed my mattress, even tried meditating. Nothing lasted. When something seemed to help, it worked for only a night or two before I found myself back where I started tossing and turning, trapped in what felt like a prison without bars. Each night became a battle I lost before it even began. I'd lie there, staring at the ceiling, replaying mistakes, worrying about things far beyond my control. Morning would come with the same heavy body, clouded mind, and weary soul. I began to wonder if this was simply what aging meant: accepting poor sleep as inevitable, like wrinkles or stiff joints. But a small, persistent voice inside told me otherwise. It reminded me that good sleep should never be rare, but essentiel. That voice pushed me to keep searching until I discovered something that didn't just help me sleep, it transformed my entire relationship with the night. Before I share the change that transformed my nights, it's important to understand why nothing I had tried before truly worked. The problem wasn't just what I did once I was in bed. It began much earlier, rooted in how my body itself was functioning. For years, I assumed poor sleep was simply part of aging, like graying hair, aching knees, or eyes that could no longer read the fine print. But I eventually learned that while the body does change with age, sleep doesn't have to fade away. It's not inevitable, we simply need to understand what's happening inside. After the age of 60, sleep often becomes lighter. We wake more easily, spend fewer hours resting, and often find it hard to drift back to sleep after being disturbed. One reason is melatonin, the hormone that signals to the body it's time to rest. As we grow older, au naturel production décline, making it harder to fall asleep or stay asleep. Another factor is cortisol, the stress and energy hormone. In a balanced system, cortisol is low at night and rises in the morning. But stress, worry, or irregular routines can cause it to spike at night, keeping the body alert when it should be winding down. The third is body temperature. Deep sleep requires a slight drop in internal temperature. If the room is too warm, the dinner too heavy, or the mind too restless, that cooling process doesn't occur, and deep sleep never comes. Many older adults sleep poorly not by chance, but because they unknowingly disrupt the very conditions their body needs to truly rest. One of the biggest culprits behind restless nights is what we eat in the evening. For years, my dinners were simple bread with cheese, a glass of milk, maybe rice or reheated stew, quick meals I never thought twice about. I didn't realize these habits were working against me. Eating too late, too much, or the wrong kinds of foods raises body temperature, keeps digestion active for hours, and interferes with melatonin production. The body stays in digest mode instead of rest mode. Add bright television lights and a busy mind, and you end up in bed tired but wide awake. Realizing this was the first step. Before adding anything new, I had to stop these mistakes, and that's when this special food came in. After countless nights of tossing and turning and trying one remedy after another without success, I never would have guessed that the answer could be so ordinary. It wasn't a new medication. It wasn't some groundbreaking sleep method. It was nothing more than a warm cup of milk blended with turmeric and a spoonful of honey. That's it, simple and familiar. Turmeric, the golden spice often sprinkled into rice or hearty stews, is well known for its natural anti-inflammatory qualities. What I came to understand is that it also helps ease oxidative stress in the brain, encouraging relaxation and paving the way for deeper, more restorative sleep. Honey plays its own role. It supports the release of serotonin, the very chemical that the body transforms into melatonin, or sleep-regulating hormone. And milk, it's naturally rich in tryptophan, an essential building block in the process that moves you from emotional calm into genuine deep sleep. This isn't magic, it's the body's own chemistry at work. I still remember the first time I made it. I gently warmed a cup of milk, careful not to let it boil. Into it, I stirred half a teaspoon of turmeric powder and a teaspoon of pure honey. Mixing slowly, I drank it about 40 minutes before bed, not out of hunger but simple curiosity. My expectations were low, yet that night, something was different. My body no longer resisted rest. My muscles eased, and the chatter in my mind grew quiet. I drifted into sleep without noticing when, and stayed asleep for hours. The next morning, the surprise wasn't just that I had slept through the night. I woke with a calm, steady energy, as if my body had finally been able to repair itself properly. Naturally, I repeated the ritual, and once again, it worked. I don't claim this drink is a miracle cure, but it opened the door to a better cycle, a more mindful routine that honored my need for rest. Sleep isn't simply closing your eyes. It's the outcome of many small choices. And sometimes, just one change, like what you pour into your cup, can set the whole process in motion again. I came to realize that a restful night doesn't start the moment you lie down. It begins at least an hour before you turn off the lights. That single truth changed everything for me. Let me share exactly what my evening routine looks like now. It's simple. No gadgets. No costly supplements, just intention and consistency. I try to have dinner early, ideally before 7 in the evening. My meals are light and easy for the body to process, perhaps a bowl of vegetable soup, a boiled egg with slices of avocado, or a small portion of fish alongside a smooth puree. I avoid bread, fried dishes, and sweets at night. Hard experience taught me that heavy or poorly chosen dinners keep your body busy digesting instead of allowing it to rest. Between 8 and 8:30, I prepare my warm drink, a blend of milk, turmeric, and honey. This has become my signal to the body that rest is on its way. I drink it slowly, sitting quietly without my phone or the television, enjoying only the warmth of the cup and the silence around me. Afterward, I dim the environment, bright lights go off, leaving only a warm, low glow. If I must check something, I reduce the screen brightness and switch to night mode. Blue light tells your brain it's still daytime, delaying melatonin release, so I avoid it as much as possible. I also keep my bedroom cool, even in winter. A cracked window or a soft fan helps lower my body's internal temperature, an essential step for deep sleep. Just before bed, I do gentle stretches, arms overhead, back against the wall, followed by a few slow, deep breaths. It's not exercise, it's my way of telling my body it no longer needs to hold tension. I leave no loose ends when I lie down. If something is bothering me, I write it in a notebook, mentally setting it outside the bedroom. I'll handle it tomorrow. I tell myself, often, insomnia is simply a thought unwilling to let go. If I can't sleep, I don't fight it. I breathe deeply, relax, and let time pass without judgment. Your body remembers how to sleep, you just have to stop interrupting it. At 70 or beyond, this rhythm may seem slow, but it's powerful. And if you're 60, or even 50, starting now can transform how you age. Whatever your age, you can teach your body to rest again. If you are curious to give this a try, in the next section I will share a clear and simple guide on what to do and what to avoid, so that this food can work for you as well. If you have been trying every possible tip to improve your sleep but still wake up feeling tired, foggy, or drained, there is a good chance the real problem lies in what you are eating for dinner. For years, I made these very mistakes myself, never connecting them to my restless nights, until I removed them one by one and my sleep changed completely. First on the list is coffee. Many older adults say, I can drink coffee at night and sleep just fine. But caffeine can remain active in your system for over 6 hours. Even if you feel calm, you might fall asleep. Yes, but the sleep will be light, and you will wake up without feeling truly restored. Next is alcohol. A small glass of wine or mild liquor may make you feel more relaxed at first, but alcohol disrupts deep sleep, especially the REM stage, the most rejuvenating phase. It also dehydrates the body, leading to bathroom trips and sometimes night sweats. It proves that sleeping and resting are not the same. Then there is sugar. A cookie, a piece of cake, or even an overly ripe piece of fruit before bed may seem harmless. But sugar spikes your blood glucose. That sudden rise triggers insulin, keeping your body alert when it should be winding down. Often, those middle-of-the-night awakenings are the result of a sugar crash after a spike. Lastly, heavy fatty foods, fried meats, CURED sausages, aged cheeses, or rich stews keep your digestive system working for hours. This prevents your body from lowering its core temperature, which is essential for deep sleep. I learned this lesson the hard way at my grandson's birthday: chocolate cake, empanadas, and a bit of red wine. I went to bed happy, but woke at 2 in the morning sweating, with an upset stomach and a restless mind. The next day brought fatigue, irritability, and brain fog. Since then, I've been far more mindful of my dinners, because no matter how well you prepare for bed, the wrong foods can undo it all. I will always remember the first week when I truly experienced deep, restorative sleep. It was not a dramatic movie scene where life changes overnight. Instead, it felt as though my body slowly began to recall its natural rhythm, like long scattered pieces falling back into place. The first noticeable shift was in my mornings. Waking up had always been a struggle. I often rose more tired than when I had gone to bed, shuffling around with heavy steps and drooping shoulders. But during that week, I started opening my eyes before the alarm, alert and clear-headed, free from the fog that had lingered for years. My body followed suit. The stiffness and joint aches that greeted me each morning eased. Walking no longer felt like dragging heavy furniture. My steps became lighter and steadier. I was not running marathons, but I could feel my legs responding with more strength. The most unexpected change was in my mood. Irritability and apathy gave way to calmness and lightness. I found myself laughing more, engaging in conversations with genuine interest, and listening with renewed patience. One afternoon, I stumbled upon an old box of paintbrushes. Without overthinking, I began painting again, something I had abandoned years ago. I also started inviting a neighborhood friend for walks, reversing months of maybe another day, sitting on our usual park bench, chatting and laughing. I felt like myself again. Good sleep is more than closing your eyes. It is a return to living fully, to waking with curiosity about what the day might bring, rather than counting the hours until the next rest. Many people underestimate how essential sleep truly is. It is often treated as a luxury, but in reality, it is as fundamental as breathing or eating. Without it, our bodies and minds begin to break down. With it, life flows more smoothly. Of course, not everyone enjoys or can tolerate warm milk with turmeric and honey. You might be lactose intolerant, dislike the taste, or perhaps you have tried it without feeling much difference. That is perfectly fine. Every person's body responds differently. The important goal is the same for everyone: to prepare your body and mind for deep, restorative rest. That is why I want to share 3 other natural evening options that can work just as well when used properly. First option, oats. Although commonly thought of as a breakfast food, a small portion in the evening can help you sleep because oats contain melatonin and magnesium, both of which relax the body. Try a warm bowl with mashed banana and a sprinkle of cinnamon for a calming effect. Second option, almonds. These provide tryptophan and magnesium, helping muscles relax and keeping blood sugar stable through the night. A small handful of raw, unsalted almonds about half an hour before bed is enough. If you prefer, warm almond milk with honey and a drop of vanilla is a soothing alternative. Third option, bananas. Especially when ripe, bananas are rich in potassium and magnesium. Eat half a banana after dinner. Mix it with yogurt, or blend it into a simple, sugar-free smoothie with cinnamon. Finally, chamomile tea with a hint of cinnamon can signal your body that it's time to rest. This calming ritual, enjoyed without screens or distractions, can anchor your nights and help you drift into peaceful sleep. It is not just about what you eat, but also when and how you eat it. Even the most sleep-friendly food will fail if eaten hastily, distracted, or right before bed. Aim to enjoy it calmly, in a quiet setting, about 40 to 60 minutes before sleeping. Give your body the space to respond naturally, rather than expecting instant results. When you make this a consistent part of your evening routine, you create the perfect conditions for your body to rest deeply and restore itself. There are lessons life teaches you gently, and others it delivers the hard way. For a long time, I couldn't figure out why I slept so poorly when I wasn't doing anything wrong. Eventually, I saw it wasn't just about what I ate, it was about my habits. Those small nightly routines that quietly rob my body of its right to rest. Let me share the things I've promised myself never to do before bed again. Each one seemed minor at the time, but together they built a wall between me and real sleep. First was bringing my phone to bed. I would scroll through news, reply to messages, or watch videos late into the night, sometimes past midnight without noticing the time slip away. What I didn't realize was that the blue light blocked melatonin, my body's signal to sleep. It wasn't just the light, it was the flood of information, the mental clutter. Now, my phone stays outside the bedroom. Turning it off feels like telling my body, it's time to rest. Second was having heavy or emotional conversations at night. I used to believe addressing an issue immediately would bring relief. But instead, I went to bed with my mind racing. Now, I write it down and save it for the next day. Calm before sleep is non-negotiable. Third was eating from nervousness, not hunger. A piece of bread, a sweet, or cheese, just something to fill the moment. But this only made my body work when it should have been winding down. Learning to tell the difference between true hunger and anxious snacking changed everything. Sleeping well is more than closing your eyes. It's releasing tension, creating peace, and giving your body permission to truly let go. Many people have come to accept poor sleep as normal, waking up tired, achy, and foggy without questioning why. But the body always speaks, softly or loudly, if we listen. Now, my nights begin long before I lie down. I follow a calming ritual: no screens, no heavy talks, no unnecessary food, only gentle light, slow breathing, a warm drink, and quiet. Rest is not a reward but self-care. And at over 80, I've decided I'm worthy of giving that care to myself. Now that we've come to the close of this conversation, let's take a slow breath together. Not to drift off just yet, but to pause and reflect. What truly stands out from what we explored today? First, the simple truth that good sleep is not a luxury or an indulgence. It is a birthright, a deep necessity for both body and mind. Without it, everything feels heavier. With it, life feels lighter, brighter, and more possible. Second, we learned that the solution to sleepless nights isn't always found in a bottle of pills. Sometimes, it begins right in your kitchen, with a small, calming ritual like a warm cup of milk gently blended with turmeric and honey. Such a simple act can signal to your body, it's safe now. You can let go. That signal alone can change everything. Third, we discovered that what happens before bedtime matters just as much as what happens in the daylight. Small habits like scrolling on your phone, getting into arguments, or snacking from nervous energy may seem harmless. But repeated night after night, they quietly steal away your energy, your mental clarity, and your peace of mind. And perhaps the most important truth is this: you are not alone in this struggle. So many people lie down each night, hoping for rest, only to wake up feeling more tired than before. If that's you, I want you to hear me clearly. Do not surrender. Do not accept exhaustion as just the way it is. Insomnia does not have to be your fate. Sometimes, the smallest adjustments, a new evening routine, a gentle drink, or a conscious choice, are enough for your body to remember what it has always known how to do: sleep deeply, without fear, and awake and renewed. That is the kind of energy no coffee or willpower can create energy that comes from truly resting. So, my final suggestion is simple. Make your nights a sanctuary. You don't need to be perfect. You only need to be consistent and intentional. Over time, your body will thank you in ways you can't yet imagine. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Have you tried any natural methods to improve your sleep? Would you like me to share more gentle yet effective ideas? Let me know in the comments and share where you're listening from and your age. If this video gave you hope or new insight, subscribe, tap the bell, and share it with someone who needs it. Thank you for being here, for listening, and for caring for yourself. See you next time.